Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Thursday, January 9th of 2025. We're convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, and board members, George Matthews, Nancy Cameradina, and John O'Connor. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in the meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. At this time, I'm gonna give control to our chair, and then I'm also gonna walk over and put number 3 into the room. Paula?
All right, welcome everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for January 9th, 2025 are now in session. Before we move to the first hearing that we're gonna go forward with today, we have a few administrative matters to read into the record, and that as part of our docket, the cases numbered 1, 2, 4, 5 for the property listed at 7316 Lawndale Street. So case number 1, last 4 digits of the docket, CV53. Case number 2, last 4 digits of the docket, PVL4. Case number 4, last 4 digits of the docket, KZ40. And case 5, last 4 digits of the docket, 3FFX. All of these cases have been withdrawn. So we are going to start today with case number 3 on our docket, 6011 Hazel Avenue. Last 4 digits to the docket, 6630. And I believe the petitioner is in our hearing room. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. We are going to go forward and hear your case that you've petitioned for today. Could you please state your full name for the record?
My name is Hong Wuzhu. Some people call me Hank. I'm a doctor.
Doctor. Can we call you Dr. Hank?
You can call me Dr. Hank.
All right, Dr. Dr. Wu. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Everything's true.
Thank you. All right, we're going to turn to the city first so that we can get on our record the dollar amounts and dates in controversy, and then we're going to come back to you and you'll have an opportunity to explain to us why you're here and what you're looking for from our board. So who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Jim Kelly here on behalf of the city.
Hello, Mr. Kelly. So we would like to have put on the record dates and dollar amounts in controversy.
Sure. So I'll say up front, the city's position is that this case, for today's purposes at least, is moot. The bill has been paid. There's a $0 balance remaining. There's nothing left to be abated or paid. So the city's position is that this petition can be dismissed as such. If the petitioner wants a refund, obviously that's more than fine, which based on conversations, I believe that is the case. Obviously that's a different process. And something separate from the purposes of today's hearing. I can say that the bill total was $178.13. I am unable to see when specifically that was paid, but it has been paid. It's a $0 balance as it stands.
Okay, so Dr. Wood, the city, did you pay this bill?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I paid a $0. What happened is I purchased this property. It's about 20 years ago from the city of Philadelphia. It's a piece of land. I bought it. Then I put the member. Did you have all my email? I sent evidence, all the evidence.
We do, but I guess before we get to that, and actually I can't see that, and I don't know that we have seen it, but are you telling us that you did not pay this bill?
I didn't. I didn't authorize anybody to pay it.
Okay. So the city, all right, then. You did not pay this bill. However, the city's records show there is nothing due. Is that correct, Mr. Kelly?
Yeah, so I have spoken to the petitioner on the phone. I believe I can explain what's going on here. So in the process of selling the property, it seems as though the title company paid the bill. The bill is paid. From the city's perspective, there's nothing else to do here. I'm happy to share my screen and show the tax services website, which indicates that there's a $0 balance remaining.
All right, so before you do that, let's back it up even one step further back. This property has been sold and Dr. Wu doesn't own this property anymore, is that correct?
I do not own this property
You do
anymore.
not own this property, so
I
do we
do
have,
not.
now we have a standing issue, I
Right.
guess, unless
So-
this is a personal in personam bill.
I sold this property. The
When
top-
did you sell it?
I sold the property is I believe it's to December 8, 2021, 2021.
Oh, now we
Mhm.
have a refund statute of limitations,
Almost 4 years
a
ago.
lot of issues here for,
4 years ago. When I sold property, title company told me, city forced the title company holding the money is double. They said that if your violation is $1,000, by law, city asked them to hold a $2,000. So title company holding me more than $4,000 or $5,000 for the violation. Then I tell the ANI, I buy the 2 days of priority mail. 2 days priority mail, I send it to, here we are. December 20th, 21st, here.
We
okay.
can't see it.
We can't see that. You're testifying that you sold it on
Okay.
this.
I
Okay,
can read it, this mail. I sent it to ANI, code units, specifically asked them 3 questions. The date of the code violation. Second question, the original copy of the citation, which were listed, the reason and the pictures. The third, the date of the resolution and the pictures. I sent it by the 2 days priority mail. The tracking number is the 9505, 91st, 32, 82, 18, 13, 56, 49, 32.
well, that doesn't
Okay.
It
mean
doesn't
anything
help
for
us.
us. That doesn't mean anything for us.
Yeah.
And we can't see that.
Exactly.
But
I
we've
sent
got
it to
two
them.
issues here. Number one, there is no money due. However, that happened. There is no money due. Number two, Mr. Kelly, since this has been an evolving proposition, is the bill that we're talking about considered in personam or in rem?
This is the price.
Just a minute, I'm asking the city's attorney, so hang on a second.
Okay.
So the bill that was issued was a clip bill. I know that generally speaking, those do stay with the individual, but if it's been paid, there's really nothing.
Well, there is
remaining.
in terms of whether he can request a refund.
Sure,
How it will be
absolutely.
considered in that circumstance.
Absolutely. Yeah, the bill that gets issued would have been issued, again, I don't have the bill, this is from 2018. But generally, at least in my experience, they're issued to an individual.
Okay. All right, so we lost Miss Andre. So Dr. Wu, because this bill has been paid, there's actually a different process. I don't know when this petition was filed, but there is a process by which you can request a refund from the Department of Revenue. And Miss Andre, do you have refund petitions or instructions for him?
I do,
Okay, when was this petition filed?
22. If I'm not mistaken, it was approved non-protunct April 21st, 2022.
Okay. So the first step would be, Dr. Wu, that you need to actually apply and ask for the refund
Okay.
from the Department of Revenue. And Ms. Andre can provide you with the information so you can go forward with that. And if you get your refund, then you're done, correct? If you do not, and they say no, you will have the opportunity to come back in front of us.
Yes.
And we can discuss the status of your refund request at that time.
Okay. Sounds
Okay?
good. Now, before
Pardon me?
I want to point it out. This, all the citation violation belongs to my neighbor. This is not 6011 Hazel, it's 6009 Hazel. So 6009 Hazel, the building
Okay,
is
that,
stopped.
okay, there's no, so let me. Mr. Kelly, do you have the violation? You have anything in front of you that we can look at to see if it's
So
the
what
correct?
I can pull up
address?
is the photographs from the case. There are photographs that I have access to. I believe that based on what my conversations with the petitioner are, is that he's saying that the work that was done for the neighboring property, not that the bill was issued to the wrong person, I think.
Okay, so we would need to go over that. Although I don't know if that's something that you can correct administratively, if in fact that ends up being an obvious circumstance based on the photos.
I would hesitate to say either way. I just don't know.
Can he have an offline conversation with you if you have a chance to look at the photos?
Absolutely. I have them up now. I'm more than happy to provide my email address and phone number. He can contact me directly.
Okay.
Can you
So,
include all the
Mr.
pictures?
Kelly,
I
we
emailed for you.
can't see those at the moment, but Mr. Kelly, who's the city's attorney, is willing to look at those with you after this hearing. He'll give you his contact information and perhaps the two of you can actually come to some resolution.
Okay,
And if that's not possible, you'll have the information given by Ms. Andre to formally request a refund from the Department of Revenue.
how much money should I apply for refund?
What was it, 178.13?
That was the bill. That's correct.
That was the amount paid for this.
Let me
specific-
repeat right now. One,
$178.13.
why the title company pay city? more
Well,
than $2,000?
that's the title company, to clear the title. So that's whatever they did, but maybe hopefully we can help you move forward and resolve whatever is possible to be resolved. So you have two paths to take. The first is apply for the refund, which Ms. Andre will provide you information regarding. The second is to be in touch with Mr. Kelly to see if he can determine if in fact the city's records do show that the work was done at the neighboring property. Because he has photos which may or may not, well, we don't know, may or may not be able to establish that. Okay?
Okay.
So we're going to give you his information as well. But in
Uh,
the meantime, that's the extent of what we're going to do here right now.
all right, sounds
Okay.
good. Can I have
All right, so,
contact information of Kelly?
pardon me?
Can I have Kelly's email address?
Yes, Ms. Andre will provide you with
I'm
all
gonna
of
bring
that.
it out to you.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
All
so we're gonna mark this right now, no action needed, because it's showing as paid in the posture that it is in front of us. So can I have concurrence from board members?
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews, second call.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So you'll get a letter from the tax review board that just says no action needed, we didn't do anything at the moment, but you have actions that you can take to go forward to try to resolve this and seek a refund of your money. And if none of those are successful, you'll have an opportunity to come back to us. Okay?
okay.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in. Ms. Andre is going to provide you with the information that you need, and she's going to let us know whether our next petitioner has arrived. So we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes and see where we are.
Okay, I'm just writing down the phone number and then I'll go back out.
And everybody else take 5. All right, Ms. Doctor, you can go out and see Ms. Andre. She's going to provide you with all of the information you need to move forward.
Okay.
Here you go, sir.
Oh, there she is.
Thank you so much. That's good information, okay?
Can I ask a last question?
Yeah, sure, come on up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, for a second, and I just need to make sure of something and then I'll come in.
It's a confusing process.
For the least expensive of all of the things that we handled in the last several months.
This is true. This is true, but every penny matters.
Almost always is the case.
Well, apparently the city took, they whatever liens or monies were due, they took out, the settlement company paid, so it was a lot more than that.
Right.
All
Well,
right,
I think
this
we're
is case
moving on.
number 6. Ali.
All right, case number 6. Haverford Avenue. Yes, all right. So we're moving on. We are back in session and we're going to move on to case number 6 regarding 5028 Haverford Avenue. Last 4 digits of the docket, 4M4S. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Board. Could you please state your full name for the record?
Ali Nasir?
Nasir, Mr. Nasir, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And who has this matter for the city?
Ryan Kiger on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Mr. Kiger. All right, so we are going to start with the city's information as to dollar amounts and dates in controversy, and then we'll come back to you for you to tell us why you're here, what you're looking for from our board. All right, Mr. Kiger?
The city's position on this matter, just to start, is that this case is moot because the bill for the rental license was paid, and that bill was for $728.84. And it was from August 13th, 2024. And the total is now at $0, which was paid as of January 2nd, 2025.
It was paid on January 2nd, 2025?
It was paid as of that date when it was checked. I'm not sure the exact date when it was paid.
And this is a rental
But-
license?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what years it covers?
It covers from September 1st, 2020 to August 31st, 2025. And it was paid on August 13th, 2024.
Thank you. All right. Ms.
August,
Nasir,
what did you say? August what?
13th, 2024.
Okay. All right, we're going to turn back to the petitioner. Ms. Nasir, can you explain to us why you're here, what you're looking for? It's the city's position that all of this bill is paid and there's nothing due and there's no argument or amount in controversy.
Yes, ma'am. In 2020, about a couple of months before the licenses had expired, I got the property as a result of divorce and marriage of 50 years.
I'm
So-
sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry to
You
cut you
can't
off.
hear-
Can you just move closer to the microphone? Thank you
Sure.
so much. It's the little box on the table, so try to speak into that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, so
Sure.
start again.
Basically, the bottom line was that I attempted to renew the licenses for 5028 and 5031 prior to their expiration. However, when I attempted to do it, I was declined. I called and they told me that it was because of trash fees that I owed. However, I had already brought down the private contracting license, the contract. So I took it back down and they corrected that. When I went back on, the bottom line was that every time I kept going on there, they would come back with a different reason. So they finally said it was for delinquent real estate tax and for trash renewal, trash contract. Ultimately, in 2023, I believe it was, a supervisor finally found out what was going on. And what she explained was the city had changed the system and they erroneously put the properties into the 5028 into a OOPA. So when they changed the system, it kicked it out. So then the agreement that I had been making and paying all that time, it still went into a delinquent status because it was not supposed to be owner occupied. It was supposed to have been a OPA instead of a OOPA. So all the money that I was paying, it was going, they said they put it towards my primary home account and the other account was put in collections. They wouldn't remove it from collections because they said the city had to do that. When I finally went back down there again, I brought all of the paperwork, my contracts, all of the bank statements of where the checks had been cashed on time and everything. And then they told me that it was computer glitches. And then someone erroneously put the date of the trash contract as the start date at the expiration date. So that was another problem. Then they told me, well, I spoke to Miss Lisa, and she said, pay this and then appeal it, because you won't be able to get the license until you do that. So I had to pay for 5028 and 5031, had to pay all that money. I had a former hearing where I spoke with Mr. Otis, and what they did during that hearing was, okay, we're dismissing all that. Just pay the current real estate renewal bill. However, when I got it, it said, I called down there to Department of Revenue, and they said they made a mistake on that. It should have said dismissed. Instead, it said abatement. So it's just been a thing constantly, all these mistakes.
Got it. Okay, so let me ask the city a few questions, and I think we got it. So Mr. Kiger, this amount that you read into our record, $728.84, is rental license fees. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, can you determine for 2020 to 2025, is that correct?
That is correct.
Can you distinguish how much, if any, of this is interest and or penalty as opposed to the license fee itself?
Yes, one moment.
Ms. Weiss?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, put a real strain on me. It was different thing between, like I said, this was, I got these properties as a course. I had no choice but of divorce. And there's a difference between paying $110 on the other one. I had to pay almost $400. And this one I had to pay over $700 and some dollars. To come at all of a sudden and say I had to pay all of that money when I was doing that all of those years trying to renew it. So it's
No,
not
I
gonna
understand
change.
absolutely. I think we all recognize what you're saying in terms of a runaround and a series of errors, it sounds like. So I think we do hear you. I do hear you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kiger?
Yes, so the interest amount was $67.48, and the penalty fee was $140.84. That was abated and adjusted at a September 4th master's hearing, and then subsequently the bill was paid on October 11th.
So $728.84 was principal? That's an odd amount for a license fee.
So the principal was it was 462 plus 126.
462. What was the 126?
That was the new fee from the 2025 year.
So the annual license fee is $126?
Yes, according to Eclipse.
55. It's supposed to be $55.
So I'm sorry, just for clarification, so she paid approximately $588 for 2020 to 2025, but she paid it in accordance with the tax review board's departmental determination. So she didn't pay any interest and she didn't pay any penalties.
That's correct.
Okay, thank
But
you.
they told me that the
You're
license
saying-
is $55 a year. The annual amount is $55. So I don't even, that's not $400 and some dollars even with that. And then they did the same thing with 5031.
And this was for one property, Mr. Kiger?
Yes, this is for 5028 Haverford Avenue.
So if she paid 462 for previous year, 3 previous years?
4.
20, 21, 22, 4.
But
That's correct.
But where did they told me it's $55? I paid $55 a year for the license. That's what the amount is. It wasn't $100 and some dollars.
Okay. So what you're telling us is everything she paid is principal only.
Yes.
Those are odd dollar amounts
Mhm.
in my experience. I'm not saying that they're not necessarily correct, but those are odd license amounts. Okay. Anything else?
I think, Mr. Higgins asked a question. Is this a duplex?
I'm sorry, no. Oh, this one is yes.
So would it be 63 or $54 for each parcel, or is it for the entire duplex?
They told me that it was $55 for the entire building because it was less than 3 units.
Mr. Higgins, you're giving great information, via.
Wait, but you know what? I think, wait,
Yeah.
but not,
He-
but
I would,
offline, not.
I would really
right.
love it if he would, show his face, allow him to swear
Let- yes.
and provide some clarity, because I think you're hitting it right on the nose.
Okay, so let's do this. Can we swear you in? Thank you. Could you give your full name and position with the city?
Martin Patrick Higgins, our code administrator with the Department of License and Inspections.
And thank you, Mr. Higgins. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you enlighten us as to the rental license fees and how they work?
So with a rental license, if it's a single family dwelling and it's a 1-unit parcel, you would pay just a single license fee. If
And
it's
how
a
much is
duplex,
that?
I believe is it $63 a unit?
Correct.
Okay,
So if it's more than 1 unit, you would then pay $63 for 1 unit and $63 for the next unit. And then if it's a triplex, it would be like a 3-unit fee.
okay. So we are talking about $126 per year, correct?
Per year, correct, $63 per unit.
Duplex. For a
Yes.
duplex, that's what it would be.
Yes.
Okay. And so how do we get to $728.84? If
So,
all
like,
interest and penalty has been waived.
That's the past fees for those 4 years. So it was $126 for those 4 years.
And 84 cents?
And then, 84, and then the additional 126 for 2025. That does equal, oh, wait, no, there's still money left.
Thank you.
Wait, she didn't pay 728. She paid 596.
That's correct.
That's correct, Mr. Kinga?
Yes.
That makes a
So
difference.
the 728 was with the penalty and the interest
And that was
was
waived.
waived, exactly.
Okay, so now it makes a little more sense that we're talking 596 for 5 years, right?
Ms. Andre, and Ms. Weiss, since you're the basic communicators here, they also had me to pay because they made the mistake of putting it in the UPA instead of a OPA. I had to come back again and do another down payment for both properties. I mean, for 5028, because they said once it went out of there, it was in the wrong account, the wrong kind of plan. So I had to turn around and then give them again, which also meant that I had to pay $200 and some a month, plus an additional deposit. And again, I think it's really unfair that I'm doing all that I was supposed to do. And because of all these mistakes, this is a huge amounts of money coming out at one time from me. Then they told me I had to start another payment plan, which again, that made me have to pay another down payment and more money because of the time that had gone by when the agreement plan went into effect. So it had less months left in the year.
I understand. Those unfortunately, those are not in front of us today. The only thing that we have anybody here with information regarding is the license fee billing.
That sounds like it's a real estate matter, and I understand your frustration, but that's not why we're here today. I understand that it may have caused the problems with the license renewal, but we're only doing license and inspection today, ma'am.
So, Mr. Higgins, do you know if in 2020 the actual annual fee was lower than it is today? He's thinking.
It's not that I'm thinking. I do know that license fees did go up, and I want to say they went up within the last 2 years. So in 2020, I can't accurately tell you what the fee was for that rental unit.
But we can assume probably
Can we
safely.
take
that it-
judicial notice that the website for license and inspection indicates that in 2022, it increased from $54 to $63.
Okay, thank you. All right. Does anybody else on the board have any questions?
No.
Okay.
No.
Mr. Kiger, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, are we ready to have a conversation among the board members?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna sit back. Everybody sit tight.
Everyone, just 1 second. Paula, everybody is back.
Okay, Tax Review Board is back in session. We did go the material and the information that was provided in evidence. And it is our decision as a board that there is no action for us to take at this time. Ms. Nasir, based on the prior hearing and actions, any interest or penalties or additional charges were all removed, and therefore, when you made your payment, it really was just the amount of the license fees that were owed. And while we appreciate the frustration that you have expressed and are sorry for the runaround that you've gotten on a number of issues, not just these license fees, at this point with what's in front of us, there really is no action for us to take in this matter. The fees were due, the fees were paid. There are no additional penalties or charges attached. So can I get concurrence from the board that there is no action for us here?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Camerdiner, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
All ways I concur. You will get a letter from the board within 2 weeks with that decision. Either party may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas if you want to take this, if anybody wants to take this further. Otherwise, for our purposes, the matter is concluded. Thank you for coming in and good luck.
Ms. Wise, one more thing, Mr. Geiger, you said that my taxes are the real estate, license. When is the next time do I need to pay? I haven't paid for 2025 yet, is that correct?
So you are paid up until August 31st, 2025 for the rental license.
So you're good till August, okay?
All right, then.
All right, thank you for coming in. Take care.
Thank you listening.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
I think that concludes our docket for today. We are adjourned. Everybody stay warm.
Have a good one.
Okay,
Thank you, everyone.
bye.
It's
Okay,
gonna warm
thank
up this
you.
weekend. It's going up
I
to
hope so.
40.
Oh, I don't feel like a
Oh,
heat
my
wave.
goodness. Heat wave.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.